This is a Fulcrum Side Quest mini-sode. Short, focused opinions on psychology and storytelling, personal reflections, unscripted thoughts, maybe even some of your suggestions. Here's Fulcrum.
Welcome to Side Quests, a mini-sode series from Dark Character Profiler. These are the detours, the hidden trails off the main path, where we explore the overlooked, the unexpected, and real-world psychological echoes. Let's get into today's side quest. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to mark where we are. This side quest is the final episode in the holiday mini arc. Over the last few weeks, we've stepped away from full case analysis and into shorter, more reflective conversations about silence, music, attention, and regulation. After this episode, Dark Character Profiler will take a brief pause next week. And then, on the 20th, we'll return with a brand new full episode. This final side quest is meant to close that space thoughtfully before we shift gears again. We all have comfort habits, music we return to, shows we've watched more times than we can count, routines that feel grounding even when everything else feels unstable. We often talk about these habits like they're indulgences, guilty pleasures, avoidance, distractions. But psychologically, comfort habits are rarely about escape. They're about regulation. At a basic level, the brain is always trying to answer one question: am I safe enough to function right now? When life is predictable, the answer comes easily. When it isn't, during stress, grief, overload, or uncertainty, the nervous system looks for support. Comfort habits provide that support by creating predictability. The brain recognizes familiar patterns, a certain sound, a familiar voice, a known rhythm. That recognition matters. From a psychological standpoint, familiarity reduces cognitive load. It means the brain doesn't have to work as hard to interpret what's happening. Less interpretation means less vigilance. Less vigilance means less stress. This is why comfort habits often show up during difficult periods. Not because someone is avoiding reality, but because their system is trying to stay regulated inside it. There's also something important about repetition. When we rewatch the same show or listen to the same music, we already know how it ends. That certainty gives the brain a temporary break from uncertainty elsewhere. Psychologically, that's not weakness. That's the nervous system borrowing stability when stability is hard to find. Comfort habits also say something about identity. The things we return to often reflect versions of ourselves that once felt coherent, times when our inner world made more sense. Returning to those habits isn't about going backward. It's about reconnecting with a structure that once helped us navigate strong emotion. That's why comfort doesn't always feel exciting. It feels steady. And steadiness is often what the mind needs most. Of course, comfort habits can become limiting. Anything can. The difference, as we've talked about in this mini arc, is flexibility. If a habit supports awareness, helps you stay present, and makes it easier to function, it's doing its job. If a habit is the only thing holding distress at bay, that's not a failure. It's information. Information about what your system is carrying. Understanding comfort habits isn't about taking them away. It's about recognizing what they've been helping you survive. And survival, especially quiet, unseen survival, deserves more respect than we usually give it. As we move out of this holiday mini arc and take a short break, I hope these side quests gave you language, not judgment, for the ways your mind and nervous system adapt under pressure. We'll be back on the 20th with a new episode and a return to full analysis. Until then, take care of yourselves in whatever quiet, familiar ways help you stay steady. That's the end of this side quest mini-sode. Thank you for coming along with me on a journey off the beaten path. See you next time.
That's it for today's side quest. If you have any topic suggestions, send us an email at darkcharacterprofiler@gmail.com. Don't forget, Dark Character Profiler returns next week. Thank you for listening.